Hey, there we are.
You can still guess though.
Oh, okay. The twin with the polka dots.
Don't we actually?
Sorry.
No.
Oh, come on, Dale. 50-50. Come on. Ladies, you've got some fans already. We've got some fans that are on here. We've got Lauren and Karen. I've just got to know Karen in the last live with Lenita, and they're going to do some work with you. And I think that's so. I love it when people work with mentors, don't you?
Yeah.
It's so important. I'm glad you've got your coffee. I've got my coffee as well. Here we go. Pink cup. Andy's going. Oh, okay.
Don't worry, I'm not leaving you.
I thought you had enough. See ya. Sorry, Dale. It took too long to come on. So as you ladies know, I'm running this huge self-esteem summit and imperfect parenting summit. As you know, I do work a lot with children, but I haven't really done a lot for parents. And I think it's really, really important because the parents are the cultural architects of the child. And I think, oh gosh, I'm not a parent. I've worked with parents, but you know what? I'm not. So I want to get as many people, as cool people, as energetic, as calming, and experts in their field to help them out with what they could be going through this really, really weird and uncertain time. And I've just left this with you ladies. I haven't given you a theme or anything because I don't like to be controlling. I just want it to be free flowing and cool. And I know that you ladies can do that. So. Who are you if people are jumping on this for the first time and seeing you? Who are you, ladies?
Who are we? So we are the Law of Attraction twins, also known as the LOA twins. I am Tish, and over at the top, I think on your screen, is Candice.
Yeah.
So we are both fully qualified teachers. We were actually teaching for 11 years. Our subjects are creative, so we're both dance and drama teachers, but also we had leadership roles within school as well. So we're very much coming from a point of view of knowing to how we can support the little darlings or the big darlings in their growth, but also we are advocates for some of the changes that we want to see, we desire to see in the educational system, but also for, I like the background.
Oh. It's a Disney movie.
So we are, as I said, we are very much about change for not just for education, but for the way that parenting can be approached for the future, to support some of the work that is going on in school, but also to move us forward on that, to allow children to understand more spirituality. We feel that this is kind of missing, if we're honest, from the educational system. And sometimes often just ticking boxes, where this is actually children's lives we are playing with. And actually by taking this more seriously and understanding how from a practical level we can build this into education through the curriculum, through the way that we approach parenting, we believe actually will not just change lives, but it will save lives, because it is very much needed now, more so than ever. Zoe, yeah.
I agree with everything you've just said.
Oh, thank you.
While we've been teachers, we've got first-hand experience of the symptoms of what people and children are feeling. So, for example, anxiety, how common it is, and also how it's kind of just wavered. It's just like, you've got anxiety, what do you do? And it's like nobody knows what to do. And this is where it's needed, because it can be cured.
Yeah.
And it starts, if it's cured at such a young age, excuse me, it can actually, you'll be cured for the rest of your life. And also it's so common in adults as well. Yeah. So it's almost like parents, a lot of parents and humans have anxiety, depression, mental health, and it's almost like, because they go on to have children, it's almost passed through, because it's not being resolved. And I think a huge part of it is the education, is that we are almost conditioned to meet an outcome. So we go to school to get our qualifications, and if we don't get them, then what? And we go to uni, we get our degree, we come out of uni, we've got this massive bill, and then it's like there's no jobs. So it's this constant
laughing.
This is what happens. And I'm an example of that. So that was the whole reason I went self-employed, because I'd come out of education, I'd come out of my degree, my teaching degree in dance, and then it was like there wasn't a job. So it's like, okay, well, what do I do now? And it's almost like this repetitive fear of failure, because it's been made that way. So unless you are achieving the goals, which some of us will, you're out there, and it's like, okay, what do I do now? And this is what's causing anxiety, but just the fear of failure is a strong thing that most people have got, and also the fear of not being good enough. So it's like, I've gone to school, I've done all this. And also not just the high achievers, it's like the ones that aren't able to do the academic stuff. It's like the school is just focused on academics, the English, maths and science are the main key subjects. But it's like, what about if you're not good at that? What about if you can't do maths and you can't do English, but you're amazing at doing dance, or you're amazing at doing something like art? It's almost like those three subjects rule everything else.
Yeah.
So it's almost built in that way, that if you're not good at those three subjects, then what happens?
Well, ladies, do you agree with this statement? It's easier to build strong children than to fix broken adults.
Could you say that again?
It's easier to build stronger children than to fix broken adults.
This is where this is strong guidance I'm getting. So many of you probably don't know, but we actually work through non-physical. So we are able to connect to our higher selves and non-physical team, and that's how we receive the answer. So this one came through really, really strong, that actually what needs to happen is to build children up from a place of love, not this, we must do it, we must get through it, this resilience. It's almost like it comes from fear, because it's often the teachers have got their standards on what they need to get. So they're literally pushing these children, but where's the love gone? Where is this child is absolutely incredible at speaking out. This child has the most amazing energy, is so joyful, and it's almost like it's never embraced. So I would say it starts at the top and it starts at the bottom, and this is how we're going to get most impact and change generationally, because if we start with the parents and give them strategies to move forward from a place of love, if we give the teachers and make impact through the educational system through a place of leadership with love, and then also we start nurturing these little darlings who are coming up to teach them how to self-heal. And this is where the change needs to happen, because it's almost like we expect someone else to give us the answer. We expect to be told how to be successful, when actually if we teach them just how to self-regulate their emotions from being a child and being able to connect to who they are, embrace who they are, if that's joy, if that's strength, if that's them being a loving person, then whatever comes up for them in their life within education, they're going to be more in control of it, but from a place of, this is who I am. And I might not be very good at maths, but I'm really good at dance, I'm really good at science. And it's like, it's almost, and this was national research that really shocked me. It's 1 in 3 children are labelled a failure. Like, what are we actually, 1 in 3 children, I think it was in one of the union papers, what is this saying about young people? Like, they're already a failure and they've not even finished school yet.
On whose metrics?
Pardon?
On whose metrics, though? So what? Who
exactly?
Yeah.
On the standards, yeah. So on the standards that they set for the children, it's like 1 in 3 will fail.
Yeah.
And then when they go home, they then, why didn't you get that grade? And the parents then almost follow that same standard as well. So it's like, it takes a holistic, sorry to interrupt you, Candice, holistic approach of us all doing it, because it's not just one thing. It's like the whole thing needs to, let's just wipe it all out and let's just send the LOA twins in and sort this out.
Yeah, definitely feel like there's something seriously going wrong. It's almost like you can't start at the bottom and work up, because there's a whole generation of everybody that is, majority of the people on the planet have some sort of fear. So they have some sort of, most people have got fears. So it's almost like that's where you start, is helping people to actually understand that it's actually pretty common that you have fears, and that we're actually able to talk about the fears that we have and the fears that we hold. And from there, from the acknowledgement, you're then able to actually resolve it and actually create something new, a new truth, a new reality. And this is the place that we're working from with adults currently, but the education is on our list next. And we're not going to stop, because something has to change. And the main thing is fear from parents, fear from education, fear within. So it's almost like there's a lot to do, but it's like, if we could do this with love and we can unify together, it's not going to be one person that can change this. It's a group, it's a national change that has to happen, where we all come together and say, like, enough's enough. And change this, and we need to help them. We need to help the children, but we also need to help the parents and the adults and humans having children.
Yeah.
And so it's a massive task.
Yeah. Because sorry.
I was going to ask, actually. First of all, you two, were you in the same school?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Well, I thought you meant when we were growing up.
Obviously.
But you didn't work in the same school.
We did at one point.
At one point we did, and we made a massive change when we were working together. And this is the thing. When you can get a group of people who are able to lead from a place of, this is going to change, but it's going to change through love. It's not going to change by us all going into panic and putting into place all these procedures. It's going to change through connection to your higher self, connection to non-physical, understanding spirituality, because it's being missed. Like, these children can connect to themselves. These children are able to be positive. They are. We've seen it. But my point is when 2 people come together, just me and Candice, we were able to see, like, we could literally feel the impact that was being made with change. And this is where huge change needs to be made, because in terms of the educational system, got pins and needles in my foot, what usually happens is, in terms of leadership roles, it's a teacher that would be promoted to become a leader or a manager. But the point is this the best for the system? Because that person might, just because they worked for 11 years as teaching, didn't make me a manager or a leader. Have you got the skills to be that and to lead from a place of moving forward, not scared by the system and that you're not doing enough, which is often the case with teachers. So I'm not sure if I answered the question, but I felt like that was really important.
All the answers I need. I was going to ask, actually, if you had free reign and it was, you the ladies, what classes would you have? What would be kind of mandatory? What would be the most important classes you pick? If you could pick 3 subjects, and they could be, obviously not maths or anything, but anything you can make up on the top of your head right now. So they could be law of attraction. I don't know. What 3 classes do you believe would really benefit children these days?
I feel like business, or some sort of finding your life purpose class, where it's not just what we've done for years. It's like something that's they're able to find themselves and what they enjoy, which comes through going within, rather than at the end of year 11 having to pick some subjects that you kind of want to do, but you don't really like any of them. Like, you have to choose one, so whatever you choose, you have to stick with for another 2 years.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, you then go into uni and you have to stick to it. And it's like, well, what about if you don't really know? A majority of students don't know. So it's almost like in the secondary school, they should have some sort of, I feel like it's business, but it doesn't have to be business. It's just some sort of finding your life purpose class. I feel like that would be
really Destiny class.
Ooh, we found it. Destiny class, perfect.
That's the name. I would say that higher self is the next class.
Yeah.
Everybody has a higher self who you can connect to. Sorry if you sound a bit woo-woo, but it's the truth. And children are so open to spirituality more than any of us would ever be, because there's so much less fear surrounding it. So they can literally believe, they will believe, like we do when we believe in Santa. But this is like real life magic, the ability to believe that anything is possible, the ability to believe that no matter how bad things are, you can turn it around. And it's like, this is what's missing, because it's almost like if you don't do well, you failed. And it's like, well, no, actually, if you don't do well, it's just because you were supposed to go through that to learn from it, to become whatever you're going to go on to be, which links into the Destiny class. So those 2 link together. And the last one is self-love class.
Oh, I've got the last one.
No! Four then. What's yours?
Mine was, we definitely need to be talking about money. Like, we need to understand that so many people are just scared of money. So it's like, we need to understand how to attract money, not even to go get it and go work hard, how to live an abundant life where you're able to work the best job that you ever wished for, and you just attract loads of money because you love what you're doing. You're not having to work hard. You're writing some notes there.
That's called Money
ideas.
That's called Money Slay, the Manifesting Money Slay class. So we've got Destiny, we've got Higher Self, and we've got Money Slay. Money Slay is the only way.
Very cool. I mean, how much benefit would the children get? I know full well we've got to work on the adults in the system as well, because they're going through it. But if we start now and take action with the children, the very fact you said at the beginning that's something you really want to do is just amazing. Never apologize for saying it's woo-woo, because you believe it. That's why I believe in you. You're here, and it's fantastic to share the difference and the variety with so many people, because like I've said time and time again, people may resonate with me more than you. People may resonate with you more than me, and that's brilliant. I don't care. I just want them to grow and be happy and be really self-fulfilled, because that's the whole purpose of being on the planet. I was going to ask as well. So, Haya, if I was an 11-year-old boy, wee, and I had a bit of a down. I was being bullied, let's say, which actually. This turned out to be a counselling session, ladies. What would you say to me if I was an 11-year-old boy that was being bullied and I didn't fit in anywhere? What kind of ways of and by using higher self and I know you've got loads of adult clients, which is beautiful. You may have children. I haven't asked that question yet.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
What kind of, I mean, okay, what would you say, and what kind of will be the steps if I think, you know what, oh, I love this, I want you to help me, I want to learn from you.
Yeah.
Would there be a syllabus? Would there be certain things? With what class?
Yeah. So we've actually been running some classes for children since this whole situation happened.
Cool.
It's been amazing. So they've been online. So we've had a group of, I think there's six children as a group as a Zoom session, and they are between 7 and 11-year-olds. So a really mix of age groups, and we've got boys and girls in there as well. So the biggest eye-opener for me was their ability to meditate. So they're so open to it. It's just understanding how and almost making it fun. So this is the thing with children. If you tell them to sit down on the floor and be still and quiet, it's probably not going to happen. But the thing with children is, and I've done this with year 11 as well, they actually love to quieten the mind. So if you can make this accessible, and this is for anyone at home, if you can take them through a guided meditation, like for example, for the group I've been using, we've been going into like a wonderland. So use like really things that are going to relate to their age group. So for like 11-year-olds, you could do, it could be like the meditation is like a party. So you can think of how you can make it more accessible for children, and they literally love going into it. And then from the meditation, it's then to get them to connect, so they can connect to their higher selves through the meditation. And it's amazing, as I really went into this thinking, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I questioned it, but within 10 minutes, they all they were all connected to their higher selves. They all received names of who their higher selves are. And they've literally been back every week, like with their pen and paper, like saying it's the class of the week. It's like, it's so amazing. So I would say for children, don't underestimate the power of them being able to find this engaging, to find it accessible, and they want more and more. Like this week, we're doing vision boards with them, and it's like they're literally seven years old, and they can do this. And this is where it becomes preventative, because the more things like this, where they know when they feel fear, they feel danger, right, I know that I need to quieten my mind, I need to meditate, it's actually reducing the impact of fear for them. So when they're older and they go into a situation where they are being bullied, it's like they know how to deal with it, and they know how to stop the spiral, because this is what happens. The situation comes up, and it's like the fears then create this spiral effect. So the more they understand strategies how to stop it through meditation, I think Candice was going to talk about journaling as well, which is good for children, the stronger the impact is for their future.
Yeah, so I suppose in answer to your question, it's about having specific tools that they can go to. And this isn't a blueprint. It's not going to be like one thing suits one person and that suits all. It's like it can be varied, but also the the tools can be adapted as well. So we have got our journal, so I thought I'd bring it, show it. So this is a journal that we created. So it is
cool.
Right, so sparkle.
Yeah. So it is pink, and we thought we should actually make a boys version as well, because well, boys do like, not all, pink's not a boy's colour, but boys don't really like pink. Well, do you like pink?
I was wearing a pink hoodie today. Check my Instagram.
Yay!
Don't get it then. But we were saying we'll probably get another colour. Oh yeah. So that's like a little bit of a stereotype that I just did there, which is what we do as humans, if that makes sense, that we presume and make assumptions about things and people and what people prefer. So that was a living example of like me doing it myself, which is, I'm actually glad I did that, because it shows that it's part of who we are. We're not perfection. I know this is called imperfect parenting, and it's like, even we work with the tools, we work with the law of attraction and my higher self, and it's like, I've still said something that is kind of stereotypical there, and that's okay. And it's about acknowledging that we're not going to get everything right and always say the right thing, but it's really important that we're able to acknowledge our behaviours and our ways in order to evolve as humans, with as both adults and children. And when we can do that, and we can recreate a new truth, which is the truth is pink is for anybody, like anybody.
Pink.
That was a good example of how not to spiral from something of, oh shit, oops.
Oh, sugar. I heard sugar.
Oh, sugar, something wrong. It's like, we're just humans, and it's okay. It's okay to get things wrong. It's okay to say the wrong word. It's okay to think something that's different to somebody else. And going back to us being twins, it's like, we're so close in DNA, but we think completely different. It's like, I'll say red, she'll say blue. She'll say hot, I'll say it's cold. And it's
that's
like,
good. Yeah, and that's good. That's good that people are looking to be encouraged more, that we embrace who we are. Like, it doesn't matter. The thing that we have to take from it is it's actually growth. So the more people that accept that they possibly could improve on something, the more that the whole vibration of the planet increases, because we're all growing together. Nobody's punishing each other. And this is, again, going back to the love. It's like, it's okay to change. It's okay to know that things need to get better. It's not a failure.
You're just being yourselves, aren't you? And I love that. All you both of you being yourselves. And there's one thing I can encourage in this world. If I had 2 special pills, one would have written on it self-belief, and I would give them to every person on the planet, and the other one would have, I don't care what people think about me.
Yeah. What about the LOA twins on LOA on one?
That's only if they get the Rise and Sparkle journal, then they get that one.
Yeah, they get that special one.
And only if they're wearing pink as well.
This is on Amazon, by the way, if anybody does want to purchase it.
Yeah.
So
I think someone's got one, haven't they? Somebody here. By the way,
someone's just ordered it.
Yeah, if you want to put your name after your comment, please do so, because we don't know who you are. That's not down to this. That's your privacy settings, which is understandable. Keep it the same. But if you want to say, because we don't know who you are, Facebook user, but that's not you and Chris and that. So if you want to put your name afterwards, I'm sure the LOA twins will be happy to read that as well. So now I'm going to say law of attraction, and I'm going to say my story with your law of attraction. And this happened 3 times. Okay, I said on the Saturday, I said, right, I'm going to make £1,000 next week.
When is that?
The Monday, I signed up a client for £1,000, and I didn't believe. I half believed it, half didn't. I thought, okay. So I did it again, I didn't want to abuse the system of the universe, so I didn't want to do it the next day. I was so shocked and flabbergasted, thinking, wow, this is absolutely incredible. But nah, it's just a coincidence, you know, the old skeptic inside. No. And then the following 2 weeks, I said, right, I want to make £1,000 this week. It happened again. And I was like, oh my gosh. So all I'm doing is I'm just wanting it. I'm asking politely, and I'm doing it. And obviously, I don't go like this. I want £1,000 and sit in my room or play computer games or whatever. I'm active. I don't go LOA, but it's just like, blow me out. And it was exactly £1,000 every single time.
This is how the universe works. So we have to. The reason you were able to manifest it is because you released the fear around it not coming into your life. So if, for example, you said, like how you using the example is you didn't just sit there. It's like if you said you wanted to manifest £1,000 and then you went into complete anger because by that Monday it didn't come, or leading up to the Monday, you're like, when's it going to come? When's it going to come? But because you literally, this is what we call the word allow, you allowed it to come into your reality. So there's no difference between a penny or a million. It's just energy. So the reason you're able to manifest a penny quicker is because you believe, oh, I can manifest a penny, like I'll walk down the road and buy one. But when it comes to a million, it's like, that can never happen to me. That will never be part of my reality. So there's fear there. Yeah. So the more you understand how to release your fear, which comes through connecting to your higher self and understanding how to release, that makes the million more possible for you. And you start, and what we call it is aligning. You start aligning to this million. So it's understanding how to feel that money arriving into your experience. So when you thought of the 1,000, you were probably thinking like, it really feels good to have this money. And then when you manifested it again, you were like, I know I did it the last time, so I know it's possible, so I can do it again. So it's just literally comes through energy. It's not do anything more than just energetics. So the more high vibrational you feel about your desires, whether that's £1 million, whether that's a new car, whether that is a gorgeous new home, it's exactly the same. So if you think how this translates for children who have far less fear, teaching them to manifest, it's like, say to a child, like, come on, you're going to manifest, let's say,
9s. GCSEs.
Yeah, you're going to manifest 9 GCSEs, and that makes them feel really, really good, and they enjoy going to the lessons and learning. They're going to get there. But if that 9 feels to them like when they've got their target, and it's like, I'm never going to get a 9, like I'm never going to be that, because they know it. So it's like actually already setting them up for failure, because it's like, that is impossible for me. Whereas if we make it more specific, like that child's capable of, realistically, that child's capable of a 3, and it's going to be a really, really good 3. Like, it doesn't matter, but they're going to get that 3. It's like energetically they can get behind that 3. So this is where the whole system needs to change to support them.
And when kids do see that report card of 3 or a 4 or something, they see it and think, oh, well, that's my target. I'm just going to stay there then. Psychologically or that's what happens. When
they go to the lesson, it's like it's all a knock-on effect, because they've got that target. They don't want to go to the lesson because they know they're never going to get to the target. Rather than get rid of my theory is get rid of all the numbers and just teach. And I know this probably could never work, but in an ideal world, because then you would actually get the best out of them, because everybody would just enjoy learning rather than it being to get to an end goal. And this is where we as a culture, it's like, just want to get to the next thing. If only I could get that house, if only I could get that car. And it's like, well, actually, what about the present moment? What about you just feeling good, really, really good today when you wake up in the morning? That is where change is going to come.
Yeah, it's so super cool. It's awesome. So in regard to the law of attraction, The Secret, that's quite infamous. Is it Esther Perel? I forgot who the lady was. So it wasn't. So I was watching a few YouTube things because I was really intrigued with this. and I need to do my homework on, you know, law of attraction as well, and obviously understanding that, blooming hell, that's crazy. £1,000, £1,000 here, da, 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 da. Maybe I should have asked for $1 million. But for me, as you know, it's not about the money; it's about the service. Yeah, and it's crazy. But does there need to be a certain amount of confidence or self-belief in here before you can do that, or is it a question of just being like, manifest, right, I want to have £2,000 next week, come to me, thank you, universe, what you got?
So this is where it comes back to the fear thing,
right?
Until you're able to release that fear that you hold, you will be resistant to your desires. So, for example, if you want a 9 in your GCSEs and you hold fear about not being good enough, you're not gonna. Some people will achieve it, but majority will hold fear, and in fear that makes you resistant to what you desire to achieve. So when you let go of the fear that you hold and the fears, and this is, most people have hundreds of fears every day. So I'll just explain this briefly so you can understand how much fear we hold. So from when you're conceived up until how old you are now, you have experiences every single day. And those experiences will either be love or fear. So you'll have an experience and it will be a love labeled experience or a fear labeled experience. So if you think about how many experiences you have every single day, that shows you how much fear you possibly could be holding within that one day. So then times that by how many years old you are. It's like, this shows the scale of how much fear you hold. So, for example, the fear of failure could possibly show up with popping your hand up in class, saying something wrong, the rest of your class laughing, and that's created a fear-labelled memory. So, as you go through the years of your life, you then feel fearful of asking a question because your subconscious takes you back to that moment where you asked that question, they laughed at you, and it's created fear. So when you're in an interview as an adult, you're asked a question, you can't actually talk not because you're not able to, but just because the subconscious takes you back to that moment. Subconsciously, when you ask the question as a child, you pop your hand up and everybody laughed. It's literally creating, for some it will be anxiety, but for most it will create a physical manifestation. So you're actually not able to speak, or you don't even want to go to the interview because you just know that your face is gonna go red, or you're gonna shake, or you're just not gonna know what to say. So the main thing is that and this is how we work with our clients, is that we actually have to get rid of that subconscious fear, because until that goes, it's really difficult to manifest something that you really desire because of the fear. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How do we get past it then? Because I think for me personally, I had a fear of heights. I had a fear of a little mini fear of sharks. I had a fear of speaking in front of people. And for me, what worked well for me was just to do it, was to do the extremity. I didn't want to do a step-by-step program of going one step and the next step, just get afraid of heights. I just jumped out of a plane in Australia with sharks. I swam with sharks straight away. I just wanted to get it done. Maybe it's because I believe part of my nature is quite impatient. I want things yesterday. To speak on stage, the first time I did that, it was an absolute accident. Because I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but I've been teaching now was teaching for 13 years before this. Got to leadership as well, and I had to, when I was first beginning my role, I had to speak in front of 500 kids, and I've completely forgot it was my tutor lesson, my tutor assembly. Completely forgot, and I wanted to impress the deputy head, and went, "Are you ready?"
Always
So, "You ready?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, no sweat at all. I'm absolutely ready." you sure assembly today? Yes, I'm ready. I'm good to go. I don't need any slides. I'm good. And then I was I need to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
And I just got dumped straight into it, and it was so cool. And they were clapped, and I was being real. I was being more authentic. And since then, it was like, oh gosh, I can't say that I'm attaching any fear to that experience anymore. But how can we help children and adults watching this recognize their fear and and smash it, get away from it? How do we get past that? Do we just allow it?
Yeah, well, this is what the leading edge law of attraction insight that we're working with, which is there is a way to release it, because we've both done it. We were full of fear. Even when we did speak out in front of our groups, we would sorry, this is tiredness from the week. Because when we did speak out, we were able to do it, but we would have the reaction still. So for example, sweaty hands, you'd feel anxious. So now when we come on to speak, it's like we actually do it and we don't feel any fear. We just feel love for what we're doing. So this is where I'm getting the word adrenaline. It's like some children will be able to fight through this. So you've got the fight or flight response. So for some children, bring on that 9. I'm going to do it. I'm going to show my teacher. I'm going to show mum and dad. It's like that fight or flight, which is actually a chemical reaction that is coming from adrenaline. It's still fear. Or you might have that child who, I don't want to go to school in the morning because they are so fearful. It's like the children that are truanting, skiving school, they don't want to go because they're scared that they are failing, or they're scared because of the things that are happening. So it's almost that this is where it comes back to the whole culture needing change. And this is where change becomes so difficult, because we're not working with something that's been done before. We're working with something using the law of attraction that nobody has used within the educational system before. And this is where it takes trust, because it's almost trusting in something that you can't see, which is hard within education, because we want to see the results, we want to see the impact, we want to see the priorities, we want to see the tick boxes, blah, 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 blah. And that actually what it comes down to is trust, and trusting that by exploring innovative ways of including spirituality on the curriculum and being able to, the results will be quite quick, but it's almost like, unless there's one person within this whole, this is why it does need to be national, they're saying, because unless they believe in it, it's never going to be possible. Unless people like us speak out and say that it needs to happen, it's never going to happen, because nobody believes it's going to make a change. So that's what I'm getting, that it's about trust, but it's also about finding people higher up who actually want to lead with love as well. So if you're out there, hi.
Yeah, ladies, you've got a fair amount of fans here. It's fantastic. There's so many people, lovely people writing on the side here. I've put them on the screen. I don't know if you managed to catch any of them. I know you're in your flow, and I love that. So I don't know if you've seen any here, but there's a lot of things that are coming through. So there's one here from Emma, but I believe this might be Ebony. So Ebony is the daughter of Emma. Definitely have a fear of not being good enough. Also feel guilty when I have to sort of for myself. So
it's like, that's one of the most fears that most people have. And it's like, this is why it's almost like when we feel fear, we almost don't talk about it because we think there's something wrong with us. But just to say that fear is so common, we all have it. And it's like, this is the importance of us actually being able to speak to our parents about it, and not suffering alone, and knowing that there's people out there like us. There's so many people out there that are supportive of it's not even mental health, it's actually a way of life, is living in fear. It's that we have been conditioned to live this way. So speaking out is the first step, but just to know that you're not alone. That was my biggest fear, not being good enough, and then that impacted me speaking, because I felt that if I would speak, I'd say the wrong thing, and then that would make me shake, and I'd have anxiety, and I also wouldn't speak about it. And it's almost like now, because I think the first step is acknowledging that there's something not right, you're not feeling right. And it's also with fear, it's a feeling. So it's almost like sometimes you don't have the actual words to describe the way that you're feeling. You just know it's not a nice feeling. So it's really important that you start to find ways to improve the way that you're feeling. And this doesn't have to be journaling. It could literally just be getting out and going for a walk. So just a quick task for, I think it's the daughter of Emma.
Emma, sorry, Emma.
For her as a parent, is writing a long list of stuff that she loves to do. So it could be like going out in nature, it could be watching a funny film. So these are just quite, say, normal things to do that are going to, one, allow her to acknowledge what she's feeling, and then secondly, a go-to list of stuff that she could potentially do in order to improve the way that she's feeling. And also just to say, is it doesn't necessarily jump from feeling not good enough to feeling great, because that's not realistic. So it's almost like the list is a way to slowly, day by day, or even for some children, minute by minute, just have something that's going to enable them to feel a little bit better. And it could be just a hug, or it could just be a 5-minute chat in the morning before she goes to work, or before she goes to school, just to say, like, I'm not feeling great today. So it's definitely having that communication if possible. And if it's not possible for her to actually vocalize it, another thing is writing, and that's why the journal's really good. It's almost like and it does actually explain how to journal in this book, and it explains the process. So yeah, hope that helps.
Can we call it the love list?
Yeah.
No.
No. Love list.
We call it the lean-to list.
Lean-to.
Yeah.
So lean into it.
Lean into this. I'm just, because for me, I have to have a thing attached to it so it stays in my memory.
Yeah.
Lean into this. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Lean into this. I love that. Thank you, ladies. That was awesome. Right, so we've got a few more people on here as well. By the way, because we've got about 10 minutes left actually. But please, before we do run out of time, where can people find you two?
Everywhere.
Just visit the attraction.
Universe.
Right.
You can find us on Instagram, so it's LOA Twins on Instagram. Also on the Facebook page, it's also LOA Twins.
Yeah.
And also we have a private group, which I'm feeling you. That's it. Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. We have a private group which is called the Higher Self Collective. And the reason I'm saying that group is because it's a closed group, which means that people feel really safe in there to talk about anything that's coming up. You can see who's looking at it. So specifically for children and parents, it may be that you want to join that group. Instagram is, but the closed groups specifically is a place where there's lots of questions, and we do work mainly with people within business and life purpose and destiny, but you can literally ask us any question on law of attraction, on fear, on something that's coming up, and we will answer, but also the collective is huge, and it's just so supportive. Like the members are so supportive of each other as well.
Yeah, and well, look, Beverly agrees. It's an amazing group.
Yeah, it's like what we have created is high vibrational. So it's like we could sit here and talk about, and actually I felt that as we were speaking, like fear is like the heaviness of fear. And it's like we could focus on that, but actually what we are about is focusing on the fun, focusing on how we can make this change, but through being creative, being innovative. So those people who are watching will probably comment and say, like, we are about spirituality, but we're also very, very normal girls. We like to have prosecco on the weekend. We like to have we're so normal. But
you tagged me in a picture, didn't you, of a bit of prosecco?
Really? I was thinking, is it? But actually, this is who we are. Like we are just being, and this is the thing. If we can teach children to just be who they are and just embrace who they are, they will be empowered by that. That it's okay to be you. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay for things not to be okay. And then it's like, okay, but then how do we move forward from this? How do we learn from all of the rubbish that we go through to create amazing lives for ourselves? And it is possible. So that's a bit about what we share with our group within the Higher Self Collective.
I did do rum shots on one day as well.
Nice. Can boys be in the group? Can I go in? That sounds fun.
You're in there. You're the only one. Yeah. So we'll have
winning. This is epic.
Oh no, our dad's in there as well. So
I can allow that one. It's been so much fun. I really, really appreciate your time, because I know how active you guys are. You've just had a new caseload of beautiful, amazing clients, and you're serving them. You're writing books. You're so active on Instagram and any form of social media, and you're doing your own thing. You've got to live your own lives as well. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for allowing me to pinch a segment of your Saturday.
Oh, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really want to do more. I want to just have a special one just for you two. Can we do that sometime?
Yeah.
Cool.
I saw a little comment of someone saying that they wanted a petition. So I feel that we should get Law of Attraction on the curriculum as a petition. Yeah. We're going global.
That's brilliant. So again,
our book as well. So for anybody that wants some of the Law of Attraction tools.
Yeah.
This isn't a book, it's more of a handbook, so it's got lots of little tasks. So for cool. Children who want, I'd say, any age really, they might need the support from the parents, and also parents as well. It's a good place to start as well if you want some actual tasks and tools to go through. There's quite a lot in there as well. That's in 2 lines.
Yeah,
that's so cool, ladies.
Thank you.
I don't want it to stop, but we've got Bianca on now, and she is a rocket scientist. So we're going to be doing. So I'm really.
Yeah.
You know I might. It'd be really cool. Let me just see if I can use this same link, so we can just add on, and we can probably carry on talking until 5 more minutes.
Yeah. If anybody's got any questions for us, they can. Yeah.
I'm hungry now. I'm gonna go and make a bacon.
I've got the same.
I'm slightly yes. So this, so it was a 16 hours. I didn't mean you two will be talking with me for 16 hours. It was a 16-hour event, so
you're not stopping.
No, I'm going to keep on going. It's a bit naughty of me, and I've had a few people say, "No, you need to have your self time." So on Monday, I'm going to have a huge day off, just me, my pug, and my girlfriend. We're just going to chill, play games, watch TV, go for walks, do exercise, just play, because I think I'm going to be very, very mind exhausted, as it were.
Yeah.
Well, a bit of it for you with your money manifesting as well, your money slaying.
Please.
Up the amount a little bit. So next time ask for 2 because you've got really comfortable with the 1. So for 2 and let us know when it shows up.
Yay!
I'll put it in the group.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I'm going to finish my online course, and I'm going to do a little bit of. I'm going to manifest first, and then promote, and just see what happens. And I've got Wicked. Cool. All right, ladies. Well, thank you again so much for your time. I really, really appreciate you getting all the love here. Amazing, ladies, as always.
Amazing. Really good.
Hey, looking beautiful. Law of Attraction twins, a twinathon. Lauren's keen. Lauren, okay.
Lauren, love you.
But ladies, thank you so much. Like I say, I reckon in the future we should because we're kind of like the same. Well, we want the same things for our kids, right? Yeah. So gorgeous, ladies.
Do you want us to go now? Is that your cue for us to?
We have a conversation. Chill with us. I'm just going to message. I feel rude though because I need to send the link to another person.
That's a bit. Don't worry.
I've been taking a few videos as well for Instagram for you guys.
Oh.
So if I look vacant, it's because I'm doing that for going.
But you did it for a point. You looked at.
Right then. Yes. So.
I was going to, while you're doing that, I was going to say, actually, we have launched a healing, it's a weekly healing session that we will do as a webinar.
Okay.
So this will be good for parents and children. So it's £22, it's weekly.
Nice.
And you can drop in when you like. So if you feel like you need it, then you can drop in. But also the whole family can access it. So you could just all show up together. So if anybody does feel like they need some healing or it'll be like a meditation. So we don't really know what we'll be doing specifically, but it'll be connecting in, and we'll be sending love, joy. So we'll be vibration. It will be helping. It will really help for anybody that's feeling just not great. So that as well, we can send you the link for that if that would.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be absolutely super duper. And our rocket scientist has arrived, ladies.
Oh, amazing!
I'm using this platform, so hope everything goes well.
Ambitious here, Bianca, by the way, and just so you know, I am the luckiest man online. And I'm okay with
that. Fun. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming, ladies. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing that, and definitely another one in the future, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.